Hello, friends. A few days ago, there was a powerful earthquake in Turkey. It was felt even here in Armenia. Our country also has its own sorrowful experience of earthquakes. Do you know what an earthquake is? How does it occur? Can we predict them? Unfortunately not. And I have a lot of interesting things to tell you about this topic. So let's get started. The thing is, our planet Earth consists of several layers: the crust, the mantle, and the core. The crust is the outermost solid part of the Earth. It may sound strange, but it's actually cracked into several large pieces called tectonic plates. They are in constant motion, albeit very slow motion. The speed of these plates is about 2 centimeters per year. It's as slow as your fingernails growing. These tectonic plates float on the mantle, which is a semi-liquid layer. The plates move due to the heat coming from the core. The heat comes from the core, then passes through the mantle and eventually reaches the crust, giving rise to convection currents. As a result of these movements, sometimes one plate crashes into another. The energy released in this collision can shake the Earth's crust, and that is an earthquake. The place where the earthquake starts is called the focus or hypocenter. The epicenter is the point on the Earth's surface directly above the focus. Most earthquakes occur along the boundaries of these tectonic plates. The boundary between the colliding plates is called a fault line. The faults are named after the Greek word faultos, meaning to speak. This is because these lines were originally discovered by scientists as places where the rocks had slipped past each other. Some of the energy released during an earthquake can be in the form of a tsunami, a series of ocean waves that spread out in all directions from the epicenter. Earthquakes can also be caused by volcanic activity or human-made disasters such as mining or fracking. The strength of an earthquake is measured using a seismograph. To record the strength of an earthquake, a seismograph uses a magnitude scale. The scale used to measure the strength of an earthquake is called the Richter scale. It's a logarithmic scale, which means that each whole number represents 10 times more energy than the previous one. For example, a level 3 earthquake is 10 times stronger than a level 2 earthquake. A level 4 earthquake is 10 times stronger than a level 3 earthquake, and so on. The strongest earthquake ever recorded was in Chile in 1960. It was 9.5 on the Richter scale. In Turkey, unfortunately, there are frequent earthquakes. This is due to the fact that the country is located at the junction of 3 tectonic plates. The African, Asian, and European plates collide here, creating an unstable and seismically active zone. On February 6, 2023, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck southern Turkey near the Syrian border. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the epicenter of the earthquake was about 33 kilometers from the city of Gaziantep, with a population of 2.1 million people. A few hours later, another powerful earthquake of magnitude 7.5 shook the same region. The consequences of the earthquakes were devastating. Thousands of buildings collapsed, leaving many people homeless and without food. The number of victims is increasing. Every hour, people are pulled out from under the rubble. Some of them are still alive. Currently, the search and rescue operations are ongoing. We can only hope that the condition of the victims will improve. Now let's get back to our video. In addition to the Richter scale, there are a few more magnitude scales. One of them is the Mercalli scale. It's an empirical scale based on the observations of the degree of damage caused by an earthquake in different areas. It's not a measurement of the strength of an earthquake, but rather an indication of the effects of an earthquake. For example, the intensity 2 means that the earthquake was felt by some people, but it did not cause any particular damage. The intensity 6 means strong tremors. Objects fall from shelves, damage to buildings, and cracks in the walls. Intensity 7 means the earthquake was strong enough to throw people off their feet. The intensity 8 means devastating. Almost all buildings collapsed. People lose their lives. The Mercalli scale is widely used because it allows us to compare the strength of earthquakes in different regions. For example, the 1960 earthquake in Chile reached intensity 9 on the Mercalli scale in some areas, while the 2011 earthquake in Japan reached only intensity 7. Another scale used to measure the strength of earthquakes is the Modified Mercalli Intensity Scale. It's similar to the previous scale, but it's more detailed. For example, intensity MMI is hardly perceptible. People may feel a slight tremor, but it's not clear what it was. Intensity MM2 is a weak shock. The earthquake is noticeable indoors. Hanging objects may swing slightly. MM3 is a slightly strong shock. People are alerted, but they realize it's an earthquake. Windows, doors may rattle. MM4 is a strong shock. People leave their homes. Furniture and large objects begin to fall over. MMV is a very strong shock. People panic, run out into the street. Houses suffer severe damage. Many objects collapse. MM6 is an extremely strong shock. Most buildings collapse. Underground pipes break. Widespread panic. MM7 is a catastrophic shock. Total destruction. A high number of victims. And finally, the last scale is the Moment Magnitude Scale. It was developed in the late 20th century and is currently the most widely used scale to measure the strength of earthquakes. It takes into account the energy released during an earthquake, the area of the fault, and the displacement of the rocks along the fault. This scale is especially suitable for large earthquakes. The Moment Magnitude Scale ranges from 1 to 9. Each whole number means the earthquake is 10 times stronger than the previous one. For example, a level 3 earthquake is 10 times stronger than a level 2 earthquake. A level 4 earthquake is 10 times stronger than a level 3 earthquake, and so on. The Moment Magnitude Scale is widely used because it gives a more accurate measurement of the strength of earthquakes than other scales. In addition, it doesn't have a limit and can measure earthquakes of any strength. The earthquake in Turkey was 7.8 on the Moment Magnitude Scale. It's a very strong earthquake, but it's not the strongest one ever recorded. The strongest earthquake ever recorded was in Chile in 1960. It was 9.5 on the Moment Magnitude Scale. What is the difference between earthquakes and tremors? An earthquake is a sudden shaking of the ground caused by the movement of the Earth's tectonic plates. A tremor is a slower and longer-lasting shaking of the ground. It's usually caused by human activities such as mining or fracking. Tremors can also be caused by natural phenomena such as volcanic activity or the collapse of underground cavities. How do earthquakes occur? As I said earlier, earthquakes occur when the Earth's tectonic plates move. The plates are in constant motion, but the movement is very slow. However, occasionally the plates get stuck on each other. When the stress builds up, it eventually exceeds the strength of the rocks, and they break. This sudden release of energy causes an earthquake. How often do earthquakes occur? Earthquakes occur every day, but most of them are very weak and go unnoticed. Strong earthquakes that cause damage occur on average once a year. Can earthquakes be predicted? Unfortunately, no. Scientists can only identify areas that are at risk of earthquakes. What should you do during an earthquake? If you are indoors, take cover under a table or next to a wall. If you're outdoors, move away from buildings, street lamps, and power lines. If you're in a car, pull over and stay inside the car. That's all for today. See you soon. Bye.